back.
Hey everyone, welcome back. Hey spooky friends. I think that's the way we're supposed to start it.
Well, it's the name of the podcast.
It is the name of the podcast.
And it's something that I say on all of my videos.
Mm-hmm. And now I've appropriated.
I don't hate it because the Spooky Friends are a club of people, not a cult. They're all just really easily led.
Am I a member of this club?
Yes, you're one of...
I don't want to be a member of a club that would have me as a member. That's a weird club. Anyone who would want to have me as a member of their club, there's lots of problems.
Well, I didn't say we were perfect.
This is true.
We're all a bunch.
Do you know who said that?
Spooky
Do you
friends.
know who said, I don't want to be a member of a club that have me as a member. That wasn't even a good impression. That was Groucho Marx.
Oh, I don't
Oh,
know.
listen here.
I don't know who that is because I'm not 1,000.
Oh no, Groucho Marx. You ever
No, I
see
know
those?
who Groucho
You ever
Marx
see
is.
those things that you put on and they have the nose? And
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
Groucho Marx.
I know. I was just
Yeah.
making an old joke.
Yeah, I love Groucho Marx. The Marx Brothers are one of the most brilliant comedy teams in the history of entertainment. They're just pure comedy class. They're the quintessential Western Americana.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that whole vaudeville.
Yeah.
That feeds into what we are familiar with now, which is more shock comedy or whatever it is we do now. All comes from that slapstick and all that kind of.
Oh, I didn't.
You know, if you think about it,
That's
if
good.
it wasn't for them, we wouldn't have it now.
That's good history.
Yeah, I love
That's
them.
good history.
And we're going to be talking today about something that is one of the most incredibly weird cryptids.
Right.
My personal favorite, but you were going to say something.
Well,
and
I was
cut
going
you
to say, speaking of incredibly weird, before we jump into our topic of the day,
Yeah.
we talked on the TikTok live about doing the dating game.
Yeah, and not anyone is interested
Not
to come
one
and date this gorgeous creature. Look at this. Wait, hold on.
Oh,
Put
you
your-
called me gorgeous.
Put
That's
your face
the
down.
name.
Look
Okay.
at this.
Okay, let me
Okay,
sit up a little
let's
bit.
take a look at this
Okay.
face. Okay, we got a beautiful profile.
I've got all my real teeth.
Yeah, does she? Say, let's see. No, that one's fake.
And
And
no,
what about
no.
her nostrils?
They're
Are they symmetrical?
Somewhat.
Okay, one eye sort of looks to the left, but you won't see that when she's doing this.
Wow.
Okay, so listen.
It's not that kind of date, okay?
No, it's not. There is going to be a competition, and we need 3 people that we're going to interview, and whoever answers correctly, I get to pick who gets to go out on a date with this one.
Yeah, just one date though, and
One date. Maybe it might go to 2 dates.
we'll see. I mean, judging by the people that you would pick for me,
I don't know.
But challenge accepted to any of those
Challenge
out
is
there.
accepted, yeah.
I'm willing to put myself on the line for this podcast.
So give us a message, and we will feature you in an upcoming episode and send you off to where are we going to send you on a date? Are you going to go to like Sugo down the road for a nice Italian?
No, that's too fancy.
You know, is it too fancy?
Well, I was thinking about this. Like, maybe we could have a picnic in the graveyard.
Picnic in the graveyard could work.
I mean, it's kind of cold for that right now.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking like COVID-wise, what's allowed. Or
I mean, I could make food. And
you could host us.
I could host it. I
It'd
could
be
make
the
food.
most awkward date of my life.
Oh, it would be great. I'd keep coming in. I'd be like, "And how is your sausage?"
No, do the daddy voice.
Oh, listen. Would you like an extra bit of sausage?
Yes.
I'll just have like music playing like this. You'll be at the table. It'll be all awkward. The lights will be slightly low.
Awkward because I'm there.
Yeah, I'll have the checkered tablecloth and everything will be like this. My name is Christoph and I am your waiter for today. I understand you're on a sensual date with...
Sensual?
Yes.
Wait. What are we promising these men?
Well,
What are we promising? It's a date, okay?
Have I all of a sudden become a pimp?
Yes.
I think I've become a pimp.
A spooky pimp.
A spooky pimp. Hey, spooky pimps.
Yeah. Hey, spooky pimp.
She'll scare your pants off.
Yes.
There we go.
That's the tagline. She'll scare your
That
pants
is the
off.
tagline of the dating game.
Yeah.
She'll
so
scare your pants off.
if you're strange, if people call you weird, if you're single, I prefer single.
If you don't have a criminal record.
Well,
I mean, not the kind
beggars
you
can't
don't
be
want. That's
choosers.
is very true.
It has to be a good fit.
Yeah.
So
literally and figuratively.
Oh God.
Yeah.
So Chris will be taking your measurements on that.
No, I just know.
Oh.
Just look at a guy's hands. Look at my hands.
Oh
Look at
boy.
that.
Little baby hands.
Yeah, little hands,
tiny
little
baby
gloves.
hands. Okay.
Yeah.
So
anyway.
Yeah, we're doing that.
So come and be a part, and you get to come and dine with the This one over here, Catherine.
I chew with my mouth closed.
No, she doesn't. I've actually eaten with her. She's pretty...
No.
And then she gets drunk on 2 wines.
No, because my grandfather...
half laying off
I
the
do
couch.
get drunk off of 2 wines. But my grandfather, who was British, he never allowed us to chew like that. He'd say, I quite think you finished. And if you didn't get away from that table, God forbid...
That'd be it? He'd beat you?
Well, then that's why I've got that kink now. No, I'm just kidding.
You have a grandpa kink?
Yeah.
You have a grandpa kink.
I do.
I didn't know this about you.
Yeah,
You know, when I was in school, have I told the story about the geriatric porno from college on this podcast yet?
No.
Okay, so when I was in college, we were all in the common food court area for the college.
Yeah.
There were different departments and different things people could study. I was in culinary. There was like nursing and dentistry and all sorts of other buildings that in this we all shared the same. Mm-hmm. And so I guess there was some class doing something on sex ed, or I'm not sure what they were doing, but they were conducting a survey, and they came down to the table and they asked, if we were straight, if we rented porn. This was 25 years ago, so you got to remember it was a different time. So me sitting there being the little shit that I was, I started answering the questions foolishly, and I said, yes, I'm straight, I do rent porn, and the truth is I never did. That was the truth. I never really rented it. I mean, it wasn't my thing. But I said, they asked what kind, and I said geriatric porn. and they didn't even know what it was. So I'm sitting with like 4 friends from class, and they're all looking at me, and they're like, what's geriatric porn? I'm like, old ladies. And everyone starts laughing, and they go, no, you have to be serious. This is a serious study. And I said I couldn't be more serious. So the young lady that was conducting the survey like just wanted to cut me off right at the chase and say, all right then, name 3 that you've rented. And I don't know how it happened. It was as if God just was looking down, giggling, and went, I'm going to bestow on you the greatest answers in the history of the universe. Bing! And my mind just came up with these 3 incredible fake porn names where I said, well, one is Grey Lady Down, which is a submarine movie with Sean Connery. Okay? So it's a great name right off the fly. I went, well, Grey Lady Down. Yeah. Broken Vow, Broken Hip.
Oh, God.
Which was one that I just made up. And they're all looking at me like I'm a madman. And then my piece de resistance. Yeah. I have fallen and I can't get off. Yeah. So that was that. And they all gave me this weird look, walked away. And my friends in school or they weren't my friends. They were just people that hung around with me. I didn't have any friends ever. Yeah. Kind of looked at me and said, you're serious, aren't you? And I said, no, I'm actually not serious. And then a rumor started circulating that I watch old lady porn. But it's not true.
You must have been super popular.
Oh, I was laughing my head off. Well, actually, I wasn't too bad with the ladies. But the thing is people realized it was a joke. And one of the guys that was sitting at the table with me, his name was Phil. I still keep in contact with him. Nice guy, super cool guy. And I was coming to school one day, and I happened into a variety store. And I was in the variety store for some reason had a lineup. And where I was standing was next to the magazine rack. And all I could see was the words poking through sweater fetish. And I'm like, okay, I got to see what this is. So I'm waiting in the lineup. I got my fucking juice. So I take this thing down. I open it up. And there's literally an insert, like a 12-page insert of just girls wrapped in sweaters and itchy and, this horrific ball gag made out of a toque, I went, oh, this is just screaming funny. So I bought it, and I literally took the insert out and let them have the rest of the magazine. I'm like, I don't want them. I just want this part. The woman's looking at me. I'm like, but it's not for me. It's not for me. So I snuck into school. I didn't sneak into school. I went into school. And when Phil was in the hallway, I snuck up to him, and I opened up his cooking kit, his baking kit, and I tucked it underneath the manuals and closed it when he wasn't looking because he was talking to somebody. Then we all went into culinary baking, and I turned to him when there was a moment, and I said, hey, Phil, can I just borrow something? And it was loud enough that everyone could hear, but not a subject anyone cared to look over to see. And so as he opened his box, and I reached in, I went, "What's that, Phil? Pornography?" And the whole class look over, and the poor teacher was like probably 4 years older than I was, because I was like 23 or something at the time.
Oh my God.
Phil was like 21, and the teacher was probably like 28, just looking at me going, "Oh, not again," you know? And I'm like, "What is this?" And I'm like holding it away from him as he's trying to knock it out of my hand. I'm like, "Sweater pornography? Why, that is very unusual. You might be a deviant," right? The whole room was in tears. So then it took the heat off of me whacking off to grandma porn, because all of a sudden it becomes Phil with his woolly escapades.
And anyone with the name Phil, I'm sorry, your name is just pornographic. Sorry to all the Phils out there.
Yeah, no, but it's true. Phil McCracken.
Yeah, well, there's Philip DeFranco, and he's like, he always says, "You've just been filled in," and like, you know, that's his shtick, and it's like, yeah, I have. What?
But anyway, on to the topic at hand.
Yeah, we ADD'd bad today, but yes.
That's okay.
So the Sandown Clown, I'm gonna read a little.
Sandown Clown. Before you even talk about who the Sandown Clown is, I'm going to talk about who the Sandown Clown is. The Sandown Clown is my favorite cryptid. Of all the cryptids, he's the one I would get tattooed, although I already have some tattooed. But he's the one that I would currently want to get tattooed. I want to have an action figure of him. I think this cryptid deserves more than it gets.
Notoriety, for sure.
Yeah. So go ahead. He's great.
So I'll read just a quick little thing, because I was doing my research on this. When you said Sandown Clown, you had to write it down for me because I didn't understand what you were saying. But the Sandown Clown was a strange being encountered by two young children vacationing at Lake Common in Sandown in the Isle of Wight in the UK during May of 1973. So following a sound that sounded like an ambulance siren, the children wandered across a footbridge over a stream and met a very curious, unidentifiable being described as a cross between a clown, a robot, and an alien.
Yeah.
So they said he was shy but friendly, spoke kindly to the children for almost half an hour before they returned to their parents, and then seemingly vanished after the encounter, never to be seen again by the children.
People went back to look for the clown, his craft, the whereabouts of where he is, and there was nothing there. What that failed to mention is how they first encountered the clown. Was they saw the clown reaching for what looked like a paperback novel, and with 3 fingers clumsily trying to pick it up and continuously dropping it into the water.
That's really funny.
It was very unusual. It's a very unusual thing for a cryptid or a creature to try to lure people in with. I mean, like, oh, look, kids like clowns. Let's turn into a clown and act funny. It might attract them. You know, that's how I think.
And it was by water?
And it was by water.
Oh.
I mean, I kind of see it like a moose putting on a suit with a table on it and pretend like you just walk into your house and like, look, I'm a piece of furniture. You accept me now, you know? It's just very unusual that a clown or an alien or whatever he was would take that approach.
Yeah, that's kind of odd.
But that was the approach he took. And he was described as having 3 fingers on each hand, no thumb, just three equally lengthy fingers. And out of his wrist, not out of his wrist, out of his cuffs, were pieces of wood, shooting out.
Like he was a scarecrow?
Like almost like he was a scarecrow. Oh. And his head didn't move. He had no expressions. He was expressionless. He had a face like a paper plate with wooden antenna.
Yeah,
and
a big head.
And a big giant head. And he was tall. And
2 meters tall?
He was 2 meters tall. And at first, from what I understand, he spoke to the kids and kind of invited them over to this TARDIS-like craft that they described as being metal and having all sorts of dials and all sorts of different machinery and gadgets printed on the wall, like wallpaper. Now, how I see it is almost like how we would look at a phone screen and we can touch the different...
And they wouldn't have known that.
And they wouldn't have known what that is. So maybe he was an interdimensional alien and that was the type of technology he had.
And that he wasn't actually wearing wood, that was his suit?
I don't know.
Well, it says other things. So he had proportional arms and legs like a human, a round head with identifiable facial features, but the similarities to being a human ended there. And his skin was really white, consistency of paper, while his hands and feet, like you said, possessed 3 digits each. Crudely painted surface of his head with 2 blue triangles that represented his eyes. a flat brown triangle for his nose, and the thin yellow mouth lips
Yeah.
shaped like an oval.
Yeah. I think he was wearing a mask. I don't think it was
they
his
didn't
face.
move. Yeah,
No,
they didn't move.
This is a mask.
And he had hair, but it was frizzled reddish brown strands.
On the top of a hat.
And 2 wooden antennas stuck out of the side of his head.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it could just be me in the morning before I do my hair.
Could be.
Because I have a big ass head, my facial features don't move, and my hair's kind of reddish brown straggly.
Yeah, and you always have 2 sticks sticking out of your head.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
I mean, he is the most incredibly bizarre cryptid, you know, and he had a hat with a black knob or a bauble on the top, a high collared suit that kind of connected the head to the body.
Yeah.
And as the kids left, he wasn't done with them yet. He went into I guess the kids got spooked out.
Well, yeah, it was saying here, like, about the clown's demeanor. I mean, he was frightened. He told the kids that he was frightened of humans and would not defend himself if attacked.
Right.
And he drank water after cleaning it, quote unquote, and gathered wild berries. But do you think that he was dangerous?
No.
Because he seems more whimsical than
No,
dangerous.
I don't think he's dangerous. I think, if anything, he is an alien. I don't think he's a human dressed in an outfit. I think he's an alien. I think he's an interdimensional alien. I think he's being reported looking as the kids would perceive and have the perspective of a 5-year-old would remember. Yeah. But the funny thing about this is that the 2 kids both had the exact same stories. The story never changed. Not to digress, but one of the kids' fathers had reported seeing a UFO in the area around the same time.
That's interesting.
And so the Sandown Clown wasn't reported to the media until a couple of months after the incident. I don't think it happened in May. I think it happened in March, and they reported it in May. So it was a couple of months went by.
Interesting.
But as the kids left, the clown decided that he wasn't done talking to them, and he went in and got a little, as I imagine it, like the Fisher-Price little tape recorder with the microphone, you know?
Yeah.
And he turned it on and spoke to them from this amplifier to come back. And then continued conversation with them when they returned back again.
Yeah. Like it said a little girl, he told a little girl that his name was Sam. And
his name was Sam.
He was all colors when asked what colors he was.
And then when he was asked to communicate more about what he was or what his intentions were, he took out a book and used the book to point to pictures and words that would somehow communicate what he needed the kids to know, but yet he could speak English. So that's the other strange thing about it. What's the purpose of this picture book? Like, why is he taking out a book with words and colors and weird cryptogram nonsense when he can just tell the kids?
What did he even want?
We don't know.
So there are some theories, like I'm seeing there's some possible explanations, like a fairy, a ghost, whatever.
No.
Extraterrestrials, kind of like
maybe that's the one.
But there's one that I find is really interesting. There's something called folie à deux. And it's when multiple people can have the same psychosis, I guess.
Sure.
Same kind of like crazy moment. Because folie à deux means 2 going crazy.
Going crazy, yeah.
Is it possible that they all made it up?
No, they're children. They were 5 years old. I don't think kids at that age have the concept of like imagining something to that extreme.
Totally making up something out of the blue.
Like that.
Like clowns I get, and it kind of sounds like Raggedy Ann kind of thing.
Sure.
But to that level and the amount of detail the kids put into it, and they all had the same stories, it's just really strange.
If you were to say that they had seen a homeless man or something that they would have had a point of reference.
Yeah.
But this incredibly bizarre entity and the way that it's acting is something that's, in my opinion, too far removed from the creative ability of a 4 or 5 year old.
Yeah, and like the Isle of Wight is a really, really small rural town. Like I don't think that there was enough people that if someone had that costume and was walking around, like
you're gonna get caught.
You're gonna get caught, and he didn't.
But not only that, but the woodlands that they were on were essentially an extension of the airport, so you could walk from where they were right onto the runway within 2 minutes. So was it somebody from the airport wearing some sort of a gas mask, or you know what I mean? Some sort of a pilot. I mean,
but why play with the kids like that then?
I mean, I don't know. Maybe the kids saw something different than they recalled.
Or maybe he was on drugs.
Maybe the kids were on drugs.
Yeah, well, what was it? Why would he talk about clean water, like cleaning the water?
He was purifying it so he could eat it or consume it with the berries because he's an alien.
Yeah,
it's not alien water. Thing. He has to put something in it, and that's something that a kid wouldn't just make up. No. I got to purify the water in order to drink it.
No, and they said he lived in a 2-story hut or shack in a wooded area close to the lake, where the walls were papered with blue-green dial patterns, whose floors were metallic. Like a kid wouldn't just. I mean, I get that they could probably have watched a show in the 70s, but it seems unlikely to go to that level of detail.
Well, I don't have the point of reference handy, but apparently there is a similarity between this character and a certain character or element with Doctor Who.
Well, yeah.
Which was extremely popular in Britain at that time. Specifically, it was in its peak.
Shout out to all my Whovians out there.
So would you know anything that has something like that besides the TARDIS? I mean, you can think of the TARDIS. You go inside, there's dials and buttons and... You know, there's a point of reference there.
I mean, in more modern... I haven't seen all of the old Doctor Who's, but more modern Doctor Who, they definitely had, like, robots and stuff that it could have, like, looked like. But...
Sure.
The 1960s that it was coming out, or 1950s?
Yeah, 60...
It was in black and white, though.
No, it went in color in 73. It was in color. You remember those... metal men, I forgot what they were called. I'm not a Doctor Who fan. Cybermen. Yeah. I mean, does he look like a Cyberman if you kind of look at this picture of him in any way?
No, not even close. Here I can show you a Cyberman.
I know what a Cyberman looks like.
Yeah,
he has
not even close.
A silver sort of outfit on.
Yeah, it would look more like a robot, and it wouldn't look like a...
I like that here on Wikipedia it's classified as an alien sighting.
Yeah. Well, it's because if you scroll down to the bottom, I can't remember what they're called, but it's the network that studies UFOs in the UK. Bufora. Oh, yeah, Bufora. The British UFO Research Association first recorded the details of the encounter after interviewing the 2 children, but no spacecraft or even extraterrestrial vehicle was observed at that point of the incident. And the children saw and spoke to the being. Its shack had vanished before further research could be carried out. And the workmen near the site reported nothing out of the ordinary. Yeah. So anyone who was around that area was like, didn't see anything, and the kids were like insisting that there was something there. But the kids talked about it in such vivid detail. That's the part that really, and it stayed with them for their whole lives. Right. I don't know. We don't have the kids' names. But...
No, the kids' names are tough to get. I don't think that they're published anywhere. I think they were kept remaining.
Well, there's a history disclosure here. I'll see if I can find it.
Anonymous.
I don't know if we're like supposed to say their names.
Well, let's see if we can see their names. If you are one of the 2 children who witnessed the Sandown Clown, I will give you 10,000 Canadian dollars. That is the truth.
Wow. Can I have it?
No, I want to talk to these kids and know a little bit more about what was going on. Yeah. I will give them 10 grand to reach out. This website's got to prove that you're the ones, but
yeah, this website's not even working.
Oh, weird. It doesn't want us to know.
It doesn't want us to. Like, it's just blank. It's not even anything.
Yeah.
So that's really crazy. Paranormal researchers Jenny Randles, Albert Rosales, and Janet and Colin Board wrote about the Sandown Clown in several books. Never ever definitively any theory on what had happened
or what it may have been.
Yeah. And this is specifically in the UK. There's no cases of it in
anywhere else.
How did you hear about the Sandown?
How did I hear about the Sandown Clown? I was looking up British monsters, different British monsters for my TikTok, and I went down a rabbit hole, and then I saw the Sandown Clown, and I clicked it, and then he came up, and I went, okay, this is pretty far out. Yeah. And then I found another podcast that talked about him as part of a series of different British cryptids. Yeah. And then I just started looking into him, and I ended up actually buying a T-shirt online with the Sandown Clown on it.
Yeah, I mean, he's cute.
Oh, he's fantastic. I think he's great. I want a Sandown Clown outfit.
Yeah. Also, too, by the way, I forgot, he had bare feet. You can see in that photo.
Yeah, he had bare feet.
Really weird. Oh, I see the little tape recorder thing you're talking about.
Everything about him is just strange. I think he's doing Sandown Clown karaoke.
Oh my god.
Karaoke, get it?
Please save me. I'm blinking.
What are you
Blink
doing?
twice if you need to be saved.
He does the robot while he
That was
sings.
the longest laugh track.
Well, it was worth a laugh because it was funny.
Do you know millennials?
And here we have the Sandown Clown
Don't you hit that button. I swear to
singing
God.
Feelings.
I will break that finger if you hit that button. Did you know people my age, millennials, people my age, they
can't handle that.
In your 30s, hate laugh tracks mostly.
I know.
I mean, there are people that like laugh tracks, but we hate.
I love a good laugh track. I always actually prefer when, if Chachi comes on screen and then the audience are like, woo!
Yeah, but a track.
I want the
laughter.
track of that to just play whenever anyone enters the room.
I want that as my doorbell, but we don't have doorbells
anymore.
We call each other to tell you
we
that
do. We're here.
But yeah, so I mean, I think this guy's super cute.
What do you think he is?
He could be a time traveler. I don't know. I'm thinking the kids probably saw a dude that was like a clown.
A sketchy looking dude.
Yeah, but still, I mean, just some of the stuff that they said. And how did he get that shack? And why is
he
the
was
shack...
carrying a microphone system.
Yeah.
In which he spoke, believed to be the source of the ambulance-like siren heard by the children.
But here's the thing.
It lived in a 2-story hut.
That disappeared.
All right, that was close to the lake. That's another part. And the floors were metallic.
But it disappeared.
And it disappeared.
And how do the kids know? Did they go in his house?
They apparently went in.
Hello, Daddy?
Hello. Come into my hut and have some...
See my alien
some lemonade.
No, but the fact that they never found the hut kind of weirds me out.
Would you like some sweets, little boy? Mother says not to go into a hut with a weird-looking clown.
But I'm not a clown.
I'm not Ian Brady. Myra Hindley, the Moors murders. Never mind. That was a little dark. That was a little too much.
Oh.
There's the line, and I jumped over it. No. I really want to know more about this, and I would even go as far as to say that I would like to visit the little town of Sandown and do interviews and try to get to the bottom of this.
I mean, these people now
it's published in the newspaper.
These people are now your age, though. Are they going to remember?
Yeah, they would be my age.
Yeah.
I remember things from when I was 4, 5. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, that's true.
How much of it has been changed through the fibers of time, though, and re-remembering and being told things or how to remember it or what not to remember. Yeah. I mean, it's not going to be as definitive as it would have been back then. Hard to say.
Still really, really neat. I'm blown away that they never found his shack.
Yeah.
Maybe he had a mobile home and the kids thought it was his 2-story shack.
Now there's an idea I've never heard. Maybe it was a mobile home. Maybe it was literally a mobile home.
Because
off he goes.
I was watching a show recently.
Maybe he's the littlest hobo of clowns. He just sort of shows up in his hobo shack, monitors the town, makes sure everyone's okay.
Because RVs were a big thing back then.
Trips out the kids and drives away. Could have been an RV.
I'm not trying to ruin the fun.
Wait a second here. You might be onto something.
I'm not trying to ruin the fun.
Aluminum-sided RV.
Metal floor.
Lots of
buttons and
lots
stuff.
of things. Could have been an RV.
Yeah.
Mommy, what's an RV?
Yeah, maybe he took the carpets out because he killed a couple kids in there.
Who knows? Maybe the kids had never seen... Maybe the kids, because they were so British, they still lived in medieval sort of Tudor housing.
In England, they would call it a caravan.
Yeah, maybe they lived in Tudor housing and they were just kept off the grid.
I don't know.
And then they saw this RV and,
but
believed
what a
it was
weird dude. Okay,
a TARDIS.
I'm going to dress up as a clown. I'm going to take these kids to my RV, and I also am going to use a speaker system that has an ambulance. It could have been an ice cream truck that he took all the shit out of. That's the other thing, too, because that would have metallic floors, and he would have a siren thing.
And it would have gears and dials. Maybe he was an ice cream man.
And the kids just were didn't want mom and dad to know that the ice cream man touched them for ice cream.
Well, you want to know something? It could be more than that. It could be that the kids went and had ice cream and then got a guilt complex and had to come up with some bizarre story.
Yeah.
Because that little thing could have been just him saying, come and get some ice cream.
I never lied to my parents because I was always afraid.
Why would he have his ice cream station in the middle of the woods?
To diddle kids.
Oh, no. Don't use that word to describe the Sandown Clown. I think he's a good guy. No.
Listen, this is a dark podcast.
You went way offline on that one,
This is a dark podcast. I went real dark with it.
No, the Sandown Clown is harmless, I believe. He's just
he didn't do anything to the kids,
misunderstood.
Allegedly. Yeah. I mean, it's still a cute story. Like, these kids thought that they saw, like, an alien, and like, people had to, like, UFO research it.
Yeah.
Like, authorities had to be involved.
Well, their kid's father had reported seeing UFOs around the same time. And so the fact that this story came out 2 months after it had occurred, to me, is very sus.
I think so, yeah. I think it's neat. I have no words. Oh, God, none of them. Oh.
That's to remind you
that it's,
to come and get on this dating game.
Yeah.
And you two can go out with this young lady on a hot date. And from what I hear, she puts out.
Oh my God. My parents listen to this podcast, and no, I don't. Especially not on a first date. No, thank you. That's the noise it makes, yeah.
Yo, guy, I went out with Catherine last night, and she was great.
Oh, gosh. So, yeah, we'll be doing that. So
I'm kidding, Mr. and Mrs. Great. They're your daughters.
Yeah,
quite nice.
I'm an angel. I am. Okay, so here, I'll sell myself. Because I think that's something we haven't done yet.
Now you're a whore.
I didn't mean like that. Yourself. I meant, like, sell the idea. Okay, so I'm a cheap drunk, two and done.
Yep.
I'm very accomplished in career.
I thought you were going to say karate.
I do know jujitsu.
I knew him too in school. He was a nice guy.
Yeah. Okay. I can talk about any topic for a varying amount of time. I can act interested for a really long time. Yeah.
Can you cook?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I cook. Clean. I have a dog.
Do you know how to mend a button if it popped off a shirt?
Yep. I can sew.
You should go out with the Greek guy then.
Okay. That's a very deep joke for another day. But yes, and you know,
the money shot.
What would you say? What would you say to someone about me?
I would say that you are an incredibly intelligent, fun, and extremely unpredictable person. I think that you would be an individual that you couldn't just have a partner who was, the old-fashioned type. You need somebody who's on their toes with somebody like you.
Yeah, I'm
because
pretty
you're
mouthy.
going to be all over the place. You're mouthy. You're vulgar, and yet you're not.
I make fun of you, but I'm not too vulgar.
But you're not. You're not.
Yeah,
no,
I appreciate that. That's a very good observation. I'll have to write that down for later. But yeah, so if you're interested in the dating game,
what did we call the dating game? We
didn't name it yet.
But we had something that we said that we could call it
a
few minutes ago.
Oh, it's. I'll listen back and
we'll have to listen back.
So I'll do a promo for that later, but if the Sandown Clown is listening, baby, I'm yours. You seem like a nice guy, and you've got your own place, so that's
right.
Nice.
Apparently so.
Yeah.
2 stories.
Or the Sasquatch.
I'm sure he's.
Sasquatch, yeah. Man, big mountain man, come down and get me.
Oh boy.
Yeah. So let's wrap up today because it's starting to get weird.
All right.
But the Sandown Clown.
And if you know anything more about the Sandown Clown, you want to leave a comment, let us know. By all means, it's my favorite cryptid. And the more we know, the more we get closer to solving the Sandown Clown mystery.
So spooky.
All right. We will see you
in our favorite place.
The future. Stay spooky, friends.